Hello, Rubies. Welcome back to another episode on the Ruby Aura Mindset channel, where us and the Rubies we take apart, dissect, and look at the major issues that gifted women like us deal with in life. We find strategies to actually get through them much easier. And one of the things we use as a reference is the Word of God so we can figure out how we can do this the most effective and efficient way. So let's get into today's episode. As we're entering into the last quarter, you're going to have to analyze the men that you're in relationships in. And I want to give you 12 powerful signs a man was sent to delay or break you, because I have been there before. And I think this information is something that you can learn from it rather than going through it. So I want to get straight into today's topic. Number one, the first thing you would notice when a man is there to delay you or break you is that he will enter your life right when you're elevating. Can I tell you some of the times when I was actually ready to pivot, it was actually when I would have met somebody that was not good for me and they would have caused me have to be delayed with something. I will post this Patreon episode on my website where I will be able to give you the information about how I met a warlock that would have actually threw me off my finances right when I was about to elevate. And when I was with that particular warlock, I felt trapped. And even after I would have left, I still felt chains and repercussions of entering a dynamic like that. So one of the things that you always have to be on the lookout for as a woman is like when life is going really, really good for you and things are working in your favor, the enemy is going to send somebody to distract you. Whether that's a romantic partner, whether that is a friendship, the enemy is going to send somebody to distract you. Right before your breakthrough, like a promotion, whether you're healing and glowing up, there's going to be this man that appears to be the one. And many times after I would finish a healing journey, I would end up meeting another one, but just in a different form. And this is literally spiritual timing that the enemy uses on gifted women to basically distract you from your purpose and to like keep you from birthing whatever God has been preparing you for after you went through that season of isolation. So for the women and the girlies that are going through isolation time in their life for the rest of the year because you want to pop up as this new and this experience and this wonderful person, what I want you to do is to take into consideration after you exit the season to be very vigilant, because they come in all forms, shapes, and sizes. They come to disrupt your peace. I can tell you how I meet warlocks right when I'm about to accomplish. Like I literally met one where I accomplished a goal. And when that warlock found out like I accomplished that goal, that warlock used that opportunity to take away from that goal that I actually would have achieved. And I'm going to be talking more about this in one of my books that I don't know when I'm going to be publishing it, but I'm going to write it in one of my books. And I just want you to know that these type of spirits, they are attracted to your light. And if they can figure out a way to dim it, they will do it. The second thing you'll know that a man was sent to delay or break you is that he will instantly bring confusion instead of clarity in your life. There isn't any calmness about him. Everything is chaotic. Your peace will disappear out of thin air, like poof, gone. You would start to go through things of overthinking. You would start to second guess. You would start to feel anxious. Anytime I know a man was sent by the enemy is when I start to get confused. Like anytime there's some type of chaos, confusion, something that takes me away from the overall schedule that I want to do, something that takes me away from habits and routines, you were a distraction and I just need to get away from you. And one of the things that I always remember is that confusion is not from God. God is not an author of confusion. So anytime there is confusion and not clarity, I know it's not something that comes directly from God. If you were sure before him and like now you start to feel unsure about everything in your life, that's even down to the simplest of decisions of figuring out your wardrobe. You are unsure about the type of woman that you want to be. You are unsure of your goals. This is somebody that is a distraction and they are not a destiny. And this is someone you need to run away from. I always tell women, seek clarity. If a man leaves you confused, then you leave with clarity, knowing that you're not going to tolerate that. Now, number 3, you know somebody was sent to distract or delay you as that man was sent by the enemy is literally when you start to shrink yourself to keep him comfortable. This sometimes happen in such a subtle way where you have a boundary and you will reinforce that boundary. Like, for example, let's say you don't entertain calls with men like after 9. And then because you're having such a good time with him, you're going to cross your boundary because it feels good, until you realize that he's obsessive and he's always calling. He doesn't respect your time when you don't want to give him your time. All of a sudden now he says, you are not being the same person. These are the men that say, oh, you and acting the same, when you try to reinforce those boundaries that you overstep. So you start to shrink yourself. This can also look like, if you were an outgoing person, you were a person that liked to dress up, this can also look like you minimizing your beauty, your brilliance for this man. And I have encountered things like that. Like, I have encountered where I was with a guy and I didn't want to dress up because when I would dress up, I would get attention and he didn't like the attention. When I started to go to the gym because I started to gain a lot of weight, and he would get extremely jealous because I went to the gym and I wanted to get in shape. He would get jealous if I wanted to order clothes because I love clothing, right? And as I got older, I started to understand how to shop for my particular body type. But I remember being so young at that time, in my early 20s. I'm now in my later 20s. And I was in my early 20s at the time, and he would get upset because your girl just wanted to get some cute fashion over jeans. And he would try to put on me that I wasn't being a responsible adult. Like, sir, I just started to become an adult. I think you just forgot, like, yesterday I was like 18. So I started to minimize myself, and I started to not enjoy the things that I used to enjoy. And it started to feel like a burden for me to, like, go get my hair do, go get my nails do, to do my makeup. And I started to re-love those things again in my later 20s when a man caused me to disconnect from that. So a partner that really aligns with you multiplies you. Always remember that, ladies. A partner that aligns with you will multiply you. A partner that is sent to distract you will always minimize you, and they will subtract from you. When a man comes to you, he's supposed to add to your life, not extra stress, but he's supposed to make your life easier. This goes back to my point number 2. Does he bring me clarity? Does he bring me peace? Does he bring me what can I call it? Does he bring me security? These are the type of questions that you have to ask yourself as you get older as a woman, because I want you to know the older you get, the more you're going to prioritize peace. Now, number 4, you would notice that cycles keep repeating. It's going to be the same pain, but a different face. And remember, I told you in the earlier point, I felt like every time I was elevating, I met the same man, but with a different face. This is literally all patterns that you have not break, and you have to now search spiritually to have ties. Familiarity is in you with the spirit that is in them. So you have to sever soul ties. You have to sever patterns that you would have picked up from this person. And what you will think that you healed from, you really didn't heal from, because that person will bring out that side of you. And I can assure you it's not love. It's literally a spiritual test to see if you learned your lesson, to identify that spirit that is not for you. Because remember, as I said earlier, you could eradicate a demon out of your home, right? You could tell them the unclean spirit to flee, but then it comes back to check to see if you're in a good working condition, and it's going to bring 7 more spirits. So this is where you would start to see people come different face, but the same type of attitude and pardon. Now, the 5th thing is your energy will feel drained from a man that is there to distract you and delay you. These are like the 12 tell-all signs. And if you have all 12 of these in one man, hey, sister, Ruby, you better get out of there. So anytime you're with this man, you feel drained. You don't feel happy. You don't feel uplifted. You don't feel delightful. You don't feel like a child. Every time you're around him, you feel heavy, you feel foggy, you feel unmotivated, your aura is dim. Like, everything about this man is just negative. That is your spirit warning you. Real alignment will always bring you peace, productivity, peace. It will give you maximization by adding to you. It will never bring fatigue and chaos. So I had to learn this by understanding my energy. And anytime somebody made me feel uncomfortable and they drained my energy, I started to learn to strategically take a step away from people like this. And this is just not with men, but this is also with women as well, because you have some women, they thrive on being a person that is draining of energy because they are such a negative person. And there are men that are like that as well. So the sixth thing you will notice, and this is a tell, hey, I have been there. This is a tell-all sign. Your finances or progress will literally stop. This is so not funny because this is serious. Because when you sit down as you get older as a woman, you start to get more aligned with what you want to do with yourself. Listen to me. These type of triggers you will run away from when you see them in men. And one of the things that I know is anytime I with a man I ain't supposed to deal with, my finances is start looking funny. And it's like whether he costing it, whether I costing it, but it just ain't aligning. And your money and your focus and your blessings begin to literally leak after you enter your life. Like you trying to keep patching up these holes, and these holes would not patch up because you're not aligned. You can't walk together and agree. So sometimes also too, the soul ties that we form with these people, we take on their depth in the spiritual realm too. We take on whatever we're guilty by association with this person. So any man that is aligned with you will add purpose and stability. You will never have unexpected setbacks with the man that you're supposed to be with. When you start to realize that all these setbacks starting to happen because I'm connected to you, sir, I need you to get from around me. And this is how you have to think for a woman. You have to be always on the lookout to protect your energy. Always on the lookout to protect your energy. I can tell you story after story how I encounter men that just had my money acting funny. There were some men that would drive me into debt. I was not a person that wanted to take on debt. But then when I'm around them, I just feel like life in, and then I have to go put myself in financial decisions that make no sense. Okay? Even with certain friends that you have around you, they can cause you to be financially set back. And this is coming from wisdom. This isn't coming from not going through these things. I have seen these things in real time in my life. The seventh thing you will start to notice is that his words will not align with his actions no more because he does not care anymore to hide. He doesn't care anymore to hide the person that he has always been. So you will notice that he always talking these big talks. I just call them big talks. He would tell you, oh, I'm going to marry you. You're my everything. You're going to be my wife. Listen to me. Sir, don't tell me that. Just do it. But you will start to notice that he is content in being inconsistent with you. But he is delighted to feed you words of affirmation, basically, with no structure, no work behind it. So you now have to ask yourself, what can I actually do? What can I do as a woman to really learn what it is that aligns for me with older man saying it and I can actually see it? This is something that it takes such a long time for a woman to learn and a woman to really grasp the concept of this. And it's simply because most of the time we fall in love with words. And when you allow a man to give you empty words, it's basically a spiritual bait, and it's meant to keep you emotionally attached whilst your destiny don't move anywhere. So they want to keep you in a loop of saying, okay, I have something to look forward to, but the actions ain't there. It's a loop that they want to keep you in. And this is the loop that I always tell women, listen to the things that you want to fulfill you, but look at the actions of if it's fulfilling. I can tell you a recipe for a dinner, but that recipe is not going to make you full. You have to go and get the ingredients and make it in order to be full of the recipe. And this is something that I had to learn as a woman. This is how you look at men's words. You look at it from a perspective, hey, your words are nice, but they cannot fill me. Are you preparing this meal on this table for me? Now, the eighth thing that you will notice when a man is there to distract you or delay you, he will make you doubt yourself. And it comes sometimes so subtle. He will make you doubt your word. He'll make you doubt your calling. You will literally start to question yourself and say, am I doing too much? And remember, I told you I went through this where I felt I was doing too much in upkeeping myself. And there was a time that I even started a business, and the business was so successful. And this was sometime inside of the pandemic. And he got so mad because he saw that I was truly like making money and this business was going somewhere. And I guess it's a fear that they have that you're gonna rise above them. You're gonna get too far, and in their mind you're unattainable, even though they already feel like you're unattainable. And he made the comment and say, "Oh, you're so focused on the business, you need to focus more on us." And at that time, I had so many financial obligations, personally, also for my family as well. Whereas this young man wasn't much help to me, so I had to figure out a way to get it with integrity. You understand? So he started to make me doubt what I was doing. Like, am I wrong or am I right? I've even had a partner make me doubt my podcast or doubt the information that I give. And that is literally, I want you to know that person is an enemy of yours, because what they want you to think is that you're too much, you're too ambitious, you're too spiritual, like you're too discerning. And to be honest with you, that is warfare. That is the number one tactic for warfare against your identity. That is what that is. When somebody makes you feel and doubt yourself, it is a warfare tactic against your identity. That is the spirit's ultimate goal in regards to attacking you. Okay? The ninth thing that you will notice when a man is there to delay you or distract you, remember, it's 12 powerful points I have for you. He is emotionally unavailable, but he keeps you bound. Those are the ones that get you connected and then they detach and then you keep running behind them. A distraction. A distraction. The Bible, you ain't chase nothing. You don't chase nothing but God. You understand? And he doesn't commit to you, but then he won't let you go. That is a distraction that is meant to keep you unstable. That push and pull is a soul tie tactic. That's how you get persons more connected and attached to you. This is for you to waste your emotional energy and time. And time is the only thing you cannot buy more of. You can buy more of anything, but you cannot buy time. That's why you really cannot buy life. Life and time goes hand in hand. We don't notice that the highest offense that you can pay when you commit a crime, you pay by doing the time. Because time is the most valuable thing they can use for you to pay for a crime. So therefore, why do you allow a man to distract you and take away from your time? Number 10 is that you will start to feel stuck in time with him. You will feel like you are a pillar of salt. Nothing moving forward, no progression, no elevation. We just ain't getting it right. Months would pass, years pass, and you would ask yourself, where have I grown spiritually? Where have I grown mentally? Where have I grown financially? You haven't. That's a spirit of delay on him, and he is in the human form, and it's designed to keep you from evolving. See, if the enemy can stop you from doing something, he can make you take longer to do it, so you're less effective. You would look at your life with a man and ask yourself, has me and this man quality of life gotten any better since me and him been together? And if your quality of life has not gotten better, your finances hasn't gotten better, your education hasn't gotten better, your experiences hasn't gotten better, baby, you can do bad all by yourself. Stop carrying dead weight. You might as well go through life and do bad by yourself than to carry the extra dead weight. Number 11, you will start to begin to lose passion for your purpose. Remember, I tell you, this is when you start to question your worth. And when you start to question your worth, you start to question your purpose. You start to lose, like, you start to want to, do I really want to do this? The things that would fuel you and fire you up, your goals, your routines, your creativity, you suddenly feel dull. You suddenly always feel tired. And you start to feel tired because that lethargic spirit is now into the chat, because you have allowed the spirit of delay to reach there. And the spirit of delay can only go hand in hand with lethargic and being slothful. That's why one of the 7 deadly sins is sloth. To be slow, to be lazy. Your love and your passion for life should not diminish because you're connected to a man. It actually is supposed to be intensified. So that spirit is there to suffocate your energy. If I could suffocate you, you can't breathe life into nothing. That means you can't breathe creativity. Now, the 12th and the last thing you will notice about a man that is there to delay and distract you is when you try to leave, everything start to fall apart. It is like the fight is on. Like Donkey Kong. The fight is on. You start to dream about him more. You start to feel guilty. You even encounter coincidences where you feel like you gotta pull back, you gotta go back. That spiritual resistance, baby. That's that spirit trying to tell you, that familiar spirit trying to say, don't leave. Can I tell you, right when I got a breakthrough, when I was trying to leave a very toxic relationship, I mean, I had signed my lease this week and I was just a few more hours or days until it was time for me to move into my place. And can I tell you, that's when we had the most intense fights. That was when I felt as if that there were times I would not know if I'm going to leave without being physically harmed. Okay? And that is because that spirit knew that I wanted to leave. It was not him. It was the spirit in him that knew that that anchor that was once there on me, I didn't want to be anchored anymore. And when a woman is done, she don't say much. I didn't say much when I didn't say nothing at all when I was leaving. He came home that day and I was not there because I was in a fight for my peace. That was one of those moments where I saw the glory of God, because in that moment, I remember giving God a date and I say I have to leave by this time, because if I don't leave, it's my life or his. And you will start to notice right when you on that breakthrough to leave, everything falls apart. That you start to question, am I doing the correct thing? You are. That is the spiritual resistance that is happening. The enemy doesn't fight what isn't valuable. And he knows you staying is more valuable to take from you than when you leave. Freedom means breaking that soul tie and reclaiming your peace. And if the enemy knows you are about to enter that particular arena of your life, he will fight you till you cannot get it. I have been here, and each of these were 12 powerful signs that I saw when it was time for me to leave men that would delay and distract me. As a woman, one of the things that I will always encourage you to do, because one of the reasons that I stayed in a companion, in a relationship, because I was not financially stable to leave. And this is why it's important to have emergency funds. This is why it's important to make sure that you have your wealth under control. That is why I am so passionate about the course that I created about being attractive and untouchable. Because I have been in moments when the same tools that I have given you, rubies, would have saved me a lot of heartache and pain and suffering had I knew what I knew then now. Do not wait until something happens. Don't be reactive. Be proactive. Do not wait. Go and take the course, because the course is going to help you. It's literally only $19. Go and take that course and start to plan your exit strategy. It will teach you how much you need for a 3 to 6 month emergency fund. It will give you an analysis of what you need to do with your finances. You will have goals, you have challenges, and it's an app. I didn't put it in PDF. I made it interactive for you to follow. The reason that I did that is because I wanted you to have the best that you can possibly can for your life, because I have been there. When you are with a man that is going to delay and distract you, the last thing you need to know is, where am I going to get the resources from to leave? Because not every woman will have the grace, and not every woman knows the tools. I had to pray my way out of that. And because God knew He had a higher calling for me, that's the reason I was able to leave it. He provided provisions. But please, take the time to build your life, because the enemy ain't got no problem sending you another distraction. Go and look at the attractive and untouchable course. Go and look at the envy tracker to to analyze the relationships in your life. Go and get the $5.99 pull back 30-day exit strategy so you can stop being around these toxic people on your jobs. Work towards the life you want to become in this last quarter. Remember this, the enemy has no problems. Ruby is sending you a man to delay you and to distract you. I'm telling you this from experience. These are always the 12 signs. You cannot miss it. Because a cheater cannot change his spots. The way the laws are laid down in the spiritual realm cannot change because of you. Get your head in the game. Rubies, I love you. Thank you for coming to another talk on our channel. And I'll see you, Rubies, next time. Don't forget to get on my Patreon channel. That's where I do a lot of story times. And I'll see you, Rubies, next time. Bye.